Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to The Independent, PSG are preparing to offer Paul Pogba a £510,000 a week contract to prize him away from Manchester United. Now PSG getting Pogba this summer hit a stumbling block because PSG got Lionel Messi on a free transfer. But it said back in July that PSG were interested in Pogba. It did mention that they were the favourites to sign Pogba, and PSG held talks with Pogba's representatives. It says PSG were willing to offer £45 million. The other week, Mauricio Pochettino played down PSG's interest in Pogba because Pochettino got quizzed on Paul Pogba's transfer from Man United again. Now, Sky Sports have recently said that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer when his contract expires. Pogba's preference is a move to Real Madrid or Barcelona. But Pogba is expected to stay for this season. I want Pogba to sign a new contract. Now, before the start of the season, it said Pogba rejected a new contract at Man United. Sky Sports did come out and say that Pogba is increasingly unlikely to sign a new Man United contract, but Solskjaer came out and said that Man United still remain in talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. Sky Sports said the other week that Pogba can see a long-term future at Man United but may wait on the contract extension. Solskjaer, before the start of the season, revealed that he had positive talks with Pogba over his future, and he said Pogba was in no hurry to sort out his future. And the Telegraph said the other week that Pogba would start the season with Man United, then he would make a decision about his future before the 31st of August. Pogba put a fantastic performance out against Leeds at the weekend. He got 4 assists. Should have got his name on the score sheet. He had a fantastic chance, Pogba, but he just put it wide. Pogba produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while. But Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Mino Raiola has been working hard to get Pogba out of the club. He did a lot of talking last season, and he made an announcement back in December last year. Mino Raiola, he said that Pogba's career at Man United was over. He said he was unhappy and he had to leave, and he had no intentions of extending his contract. We're very critical of Mino Raiola because he doesn't have a good relationship with Man United. Now, as it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. He's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined, and he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. Now, Manchester United have signed Varane. Rafael Varane to Man United got announced before the Leeds game. We got Varane for £34 million. There's add-ons included. Varane signed a 4-year contract with Man United. There's an option of a further year. Rafael Varane is wearing the number 19 shirt. Not so long ago, it said the Rafael Varane announcement was delayed due to image rights, because obviously Varane had been quarantining in Manchester. The other week he completed his medical. I'm expecting Varane to make his debut for the club against Southampton on Sunday. Obviously missed the game against Leeds. Varane is our third signing of this summer transfer window, but Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced, he's got a very good pedigree as a player because he won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid. And in the Premier League he will exceed expectations, and what a fantastic centre-back partnership that is, Varane and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well. We should get the best out of Maguire now, with obviously Varane alongside him. Varane did endure 10 years at Real Madrid. He made 360 appearances in all competitions. His current contract at Real Madrid was due to expire next year. Real Madrid did offer Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. Real Madrid actually got Varane from Lens back in 2011. Solskjaer has confirmed that he wants to make one more signing in this summer transfer window, but who's it going to be? Solskjaer's priority is to get a midfielder in. Now, I recently give you the news on Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes. At the moment, we have paused our pursuit of Camavinga. According to the agent of Eduardo Camavinga is in no rush to decide his future. Fabrizio Romano did recently say that Camavinga has two options this summer, including Man United, as his contract showdown continues with Rennes. One report said that Man United believe that Eduardo Camavinga wants to make a move to Spain. The Sun recently said that Man United are in a two-horse Eduardo Camavinga race with PSG, as Rennes have set a fee of 34 million. Not so long ago, Rennes sporting director and Rennes' head coach said that Camavinga is leaving Rennes this summer. He's made 82 appearances for Rennes in all competitions. Camavinga's preference is PSG. We've also been linked with Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. Not so long ago he said that Man United are still interested in him. We've already made contact with his agents. The other week it said that Saul Niguez's agents were due in England for talks with Manchester United and Liverpool, because Man United and Liverpool were the ones that were battling it out for him. He said Atletico Madrid wanted between 35 million to 40 million pound. The AS said that Niguez favours a move to Barcelona. we identified Niguez as a potential replacement for Pogba. He has a gentleman's agreement in place with Atletico Madrid that will allow him to leave. Niguez has a £128 million release clause. He's got a contract till 2026 because back in 2017 he signed a 9-year contract. He's been at Atletico Madrid for a good 13 years or so he's been a long-serving player. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Can be deployed as a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder. Man United have also been interested in Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich. A few weeks ago now, Bild came out and said that Man United submitted a contract offer to sign Leon Goretzka on a 3 from Bayern Munich in the summer of 2022. Was it last week? He said Man United and Arsenal are ready to battle for Corentin Tolisso. Bild said that Bayern Munich are willing to sell him for €10 million. That equates to around 8.5 million in pounds sterling. He's had quite a few injuries at Bayern Munich. His current contract at Bayern Munich expires next year. Bayern Munich paid €41.5 million for him, was it from Lyon back in 2017. And we've also been interested in Ruben Neves from Wolves. Not so long ago though, it said we abandoned our pursuit of 4 signings. That's Camavinga, Niguez, Ruben Neves and Kieran Trippier. The reason it said that we dropped our interest in Kieran Trippier because it said that Diego Dalot is very likely to stay at Man United because Dalot was impressive throughout pre-season. But now reports saying that Man United are still interested in Kieran Trippier. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer spoke out on Man United's transfer plans before deadline. He said any more signings would be a bonus for Man United as we approach the final 3 weeks of the summer transfer window. Solskjaer has been very pleased with our transfer business this summer. You know, we have made 3 signings so far in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Villa. We brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Sancho came on against Leeds and made his debut. And obviously we got Raphael Varane from Real Madrid. So we have spent around 120 million so far. But we are enjoying a very good summer transfer window because Solskjaer is getting the players he wants to recommend in. Plus he's getting the backing he deserves. Surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers, are backing him. Only because they've been persuaded to. John Murtough, he's played a part in getting the signings Solskjaer wanted in. John Murtough is our director of football, and Man United certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes that we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher's also played a part in it as well, because throughout the summer and that, you know, they had a few meetings to discuss our transfer plans, him, Solskjaer and John Murtough. And, you know, Woodward has said several times before that he'd back Solskjaer. And even when we was enjoying them bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward assured that Solskjaer's job was safe. Excuse me. Like I said, you know, Woodward has been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Because obviously he was accountable for how poor our recruitment was for so long. And we have overpaid for players in recent years. Woodward should have never been put into that position in the first place where, you know, he makes the footballing decisions. Woodward's leaving Man United though. He's had a 16-year association with the club. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer talked up Man United's title hopes. He said he knows the pressure is on. He made an admission saying that Man City are the favourites, but he said the title race is open. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, that's 8 years ago now. I think Man U have got a chance of winning the title this season. I certainly think we are title contenders with the signings of Sancho and Varane. But Solskjaer has to win a trophy this season to basically keep his job at Man United. Because if he doesn't win a trophy this season, he'll be under so much pressure. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But like I say, we've had a good start to the season, very good win against Leeds at the weekend, beating them 5-1. We're top of the league. But obviously now we've just got to win as many games as possible. We should win our next 4 games, we should beat Southampton on Sunday, then we should beat Wolves, should beat Newcastle and should beat West Ham. So we've got an easy run in. I think the first real tough game is Liverpool in October. But I said, this season is massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed, and he is aware of that. This is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. Solskjaer has been in charge of the club now for almost 3 years. A few weeks ago, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And a lot of United fans disagreed with us giving him this new contract, because I can assure you won't see out this new 3-year contract. My perceptions haven't changed on Solskjaer despite, the good win against Leeds and despite us getting Sancho and Varane. I still don't think he's a long-term manager for Man United. Solskjaer has managed 152 games as Manchester United manager. We appointed him in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason we gave him the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager in that 3-month period. There was United fans though that thought we actually made a mistake giving him the job permanently. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide or not whether he's the right candidate. But I think Ole is our best manager since Ferguson. The reason he's still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved his job. Because we've endured very bad periods under Ole where he's been extremely close to getting sacked. But since Solskjaer's come in, he has made good signings as Manchester United manager. He's signed 13 players so far and he's spent just over £400 million in total in the transfer windows he's endured. He's got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. Solskjaer's got us to semi-finals. He got us to the Europa League final last season, which was his first major final as Man United manager. He got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season. So you can see there that progress has been made. In Solskjaer's first full season got us a 3rd place finish, and last season got us a 2nd place finish. And Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he assured he would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. And I like the way Ole develops the youth. But I've got to turn around and say he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. But, I reckon now Man United have got a very, very good squad, with the signings of Sancho and Varane. I still thought the squad was decent before them two came in. But obviously it wasn't good enough to win the league. The squad will be even better if we can make another signing before the summer transfer window shuts. You've got Varane, very good centre-half. Jadon Sancho, very good player. I think Sancho's going to do well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him right. You've got Tom Eaton, that's a decent goalkeeper. We brought Tom Eaton in as a backup, but to his credit, he did well throughout pre-season. Dean Henderson, very good goalkeeper. He did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season, and Henderson's got that experience behind him as well, because he enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so he committed his future to the club. Henderson's out at the moment because he's been recovering from COVID. I think David De Gea is still a very good goalkeeper despite the mistakes he's made in the last couple of years. Luke Shaw, very, very good left back. I'm expecting Luke Shaw to enjoy another good season. He was fantastic last season. He was our best player. You've got Harry Maguire, decent centre-half. He's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. It was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. But like I mentioned earlier, we should get the best out of Maguire now with Varane alongside him. I think Bailly's a decent centre-half, but my element of concern about him is injury-prone. Bailly's future is obviously in doubt following the arrival of Raphael Varane. But I'd keep Bailly as a backup, in case Varane or Harry Maguire get injured. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And Wan-Bissaka, very, very good right back. One of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. McTominay, decent player. Pogba, good player. Fred's good when he wants to be. It was good to see him get his name on the score sheet against Leeds. Donny van de Beek's a good player as well, but I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United. Because most of Van de Beek's appearances last season come from the bench. He only started, 4 games in the league last season. I hope Van de Beek gets a lot more starts this season than he did last season. Bruno Fernandes, world-class player. Scored his first hat-trick for Manchester United against Leeds at the weekend. He's one of our best players, is Fernandes, and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. You've got Greenwood, who's a fantastic player, being an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. But Greenwood did go a long time at one point without scoring. Solskjaer's come out and said that Greenwood has turned into a top man. Said that after the Leeds game. Greenwood got his name on the score sheet against Leeds. Should have had more than one goal because he had 2 good early chances. One came from a mistake from Leeds. Edison Cavani, he's very good as well. Obviously staying for this season, but after this season he will be going. Cavani's obviously not available at the moment, so obviously he didn't play against Leeds. And Marcus Rashford is good when he wants to be. Obviously Rashford is out until October. Don't forget he's got a shoulder injury. He decided to have surgery on his shoulder. Rashford's become injury prone, that's a concern, and he's endured his bad periods. Rashford was out of form towards the end of last season, but we need to keep Rashford on that left hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. So there you go. Man United, by the way, do have to sell some players to get more signings on the board. I'm expecting some more players to leave in this summer transfer window, but obviously some players will leave in January and some players will leave in the summer of 2022, I should presume. I think there's a very, very good chance that we're going to loan Brandon Williams out to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities. Williams seldom plays for us, he's our third choice left back. Phil Jones, I also want us to offload him. Jones hasn't played since January because he's been out of injury. Jones has always been inconsistent anyway, he doesn't get in our 11. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. I'd like us to offload Delors. I'd like us to offload Pereira. I'd like us to offload Lingard. I want us to offload Matic, but we're not going to this season. Matic could leave next summer. I want us to offload Anthony Martial. Looks like we're not going to though this time round, because the Telegraph did say the other day that Man United have no intentions of selling Anthony Martial and he's part of Solskjaer's plans for this season. So there you go. So guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.